Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Obo the Potato, and here we check out the latest and the greatest strategy games each and every day of the week. Today, we're diving into the best upcoming base builders for 2023-2024. And boy, we've got some good and interesting ones on this list. From city builders to survival base builders, we've got them all, and we'll be showcasing the best that the genre has to offer. If, however, you're interested in pure automation games, or perhaps my best strategy games of 2022, games that you can play right now, check out the description where you can find links to a whole bunch of videos showcasing the best that the strategy genre has to offer. And if you're interested in supporting any of the developers of these games, then perhaps consider wishlisting their games on Steam so you can stay up to date with development progress. I've tried to stick to games that have yet to release, but if you stick around to the end of the video, I've got some bonus games that you can check out right now. Let's get to the games. The Crust is a base builder set on the moon, where you have to lay the groundwork for the exploration of deep space. Mine valuable resources, automate production, manage scientific expeditions, and explore the lunar surface. 400,000 kilometers away from Earth, you'll get to see just how vast the cosmos really is, and how little we yet know about its mysteries. Design production lines and automate them. Extensive conveyor networks, innovative lunar transport, and the best team of lunar explorers are all at your disposal. Receive trade orders from Earth's biggest corporations and most powerful nations. Create scarcity by speculating on demand for long-term profit, or invest your surplus in ambitious mega projects. It's up to you how to help Homo sapiens become a multi-planetary species. I really enjoyed playing the Crust when I checked out the demo. It was only available for a very brief time. However, if you'd like to see my playthrough of the Crust, you can check it out up in the top right-hand corner right now. It's coming out in 2023, and frankly, I cannot wait. If you're looking for a base building game like Frostpunk, but without the frost, then I might have the game for you. New Cycle is a strategy/colony survival game set in 2073 after a solar flare wiped out most of the technology and civilization on Earth. You have to lead your people to rebuild a new society while facing the challenges of a harsh and unpredictable world. You can craft, build, manage, and survive in a dieselpunk-esque setting where you have to balance your resources, morale, and workforce. You can also research forgotten technologies and enact societal rules to move humanity forward. New Cycle is a game that promises to bring fresh new life to the colony survival genre with its immersive narrative and mechanics. It's currently in development and planned to release at some point in Q2 of 2023 on Steam. If you're interested, you can download the demo and follow the Steam page for updates. War Hospital is a base building game that puts you in charge of building a British World War I field hospital. You'll have to manage your staff, resources, and equipment to treat the wounded soldiers and civilians who arrive at your facility. You'll also have to face moral dilemmas and make tough choices that will affect the lives of your patients and the outcome of the war. War Hospital isn't a typical war game, as you don't command any troops or fight any battles. Instead, you lead the medical team, and you use real World War I medical technology to heal the horrors of war. You'll also witness how your actions influence morale and mental health of your staff and patients, as well as the relations between different factions and nations. War Hospital is a 3D isometric base builder that combines realistic graphics, historical accuracy, with a touch of dark humor and irony. You'll really get to experience the war from a different perspective, one that perhaps celebrates life rather than death. And if you're looking for a unique and challenging base building game that explores the more human side of war, then War Hospital might just be what the doctor ordered. Sticking with a healthcare theming, if you're looking for a base building game that is frankly out of this world, you might want to check out Galacticare. It's a hospital management game set in a weird and wacky sci-fi universe where you have to save the galaxy one patient at a time. As the new director of Galacticare, you'll design, furnish, and upgrade your hospital while you deal with an onslaught of horrendously diseased patients. You'll also hire doctors with distinct traits and background and try to keep them and your patients relatively content by satisfying their various needs, whether it's nutrition, claustrophobic spaces, art, or postmodern art, you'll have to cater for them all. You'll also encounter a broad range of species and their very particular needs and desires, from tiny biochemical lemurs to starship-sized spacefarers to entire planets. You'll take on patients of all shapes and sizes. You'll also discover, research, and ideally, treat the many ways the body can be struck by disaster. Galacticare is a game that combines humor with challenge, and as you explore different scenarios and modes, you'll meet and recruit a variety of really unique characters. If you're ready to embark on this intergalactic healthcare adventure, you can wishlist Galacticare on Steam for release at some point in 2023. Outpost Infinity Siege is a base-building game that combines tower defense, first-person shooting elements, and real-time strategy elements in a sci-fi setting. You play as a commander of a mobile outpost that can deploy various units and turrets to fend off waves of enemies. You also have a powerful weapon called the Proto-Slag gun that can use different types of ammo to deal damage and manipulate the environment. The game features an exploration mode where you can scavenge resources, discover new areas, and find rare outpost units. You can also team up with friends in co-op modes such as Harvest Days and Endless, where you have to survive as long as possible against relentless foes. Outpost Infinity Siege is a game for fans of base building, shooting, and strategy games with a dash of humor and a few mechs thrown in for good measure. It's expected to release in Q3 of 2023 on Steam, and I, for one, am very excited. I'll take every opportunity to talk about Manor Lords. This is a medieval city building strategy game with a focus on gorgeous visuals and simulated realism. You grow your settlement, manage its politics and relations with other kingdoms, and fight in real-time battles, all while gathering resources and assigning jobs to your people. The game provides a gridless city-building experience with full freedom of placement and rotation. Building mechanics are motivated by the growth of real medieval towns and villages where major trade routes and the landscape influenced how settlements were shaped and developed. Manor Lords prioritizes historical accuracy wherever possible, using it to inform gameplay mechanics and visuals alike. Common medieval tropes are avoided in favor of historical accuracy in order to make the world feel more authentic, colorful, and believable. I've talked a bunch about how excited I am for Manor Lords. I genuinely cannot wait for this title. The demo, which was in a very early stage, was one of the finest base builders that I've ever had the pleasures of playing. There's still no word on a release date yet, but you can bet that this is one that I'll be keeping a very close eye on. Infection-Free Zone is a post-apocalyptic city builder and base defense game that lets you play on any city in the world using real geographical data. You take charge of a group of survivors from your chosen city and try to create a self-sustaining settlement by rebuilding and readapting the buildings around you. But be careful, because when night falls, you have to defend the zone from the infected, who are fast, strong, and aggressive. You can use your knowledge of the city to find useful resources such as food, medicine, and weapons, but beware of the dangers lurking in the dark. Infection-Free Zone is a game that combines strategy, simulation, and action in a unique way. You can customize your base of operations, set up shelters and production facilities, adapt existing buildings to new needs, build new farms and powerhouses, and establish defenses with walls, gates, and towers. You can also explore the city and scavenge for supplies, but be prepared to face the consequences of your actions. Infection-Free Zone is a game that will challenge your decision-making and planning skills, as well as your survival instincts. It's a game that will make you feel like you're living in a real zombie apocalypse. I really enjoyed this game when I played the demo, linked up in the top right-hand corner of the screen right now, and I'd strongly encourage you to keep an eye on this one. No word on a release date yet, but get subscribed if you want to know when it's released. In Forever Skies, you build and customize a high-tech airship. It will be your home, workshop, laboratory, and more whilst flying above the surface of Earth. Control and steer it towards the ruins of our civilization and mysterious anomalies. Manage your airship hull and its integrity, extract and gather resources to improve your airship, and make it uniquely yours. Forever Skies is a truly unique base building experience, as I've not seen many that have you commanding an airship in quite the same way that you're able to explore this world and command the airship in this game. It's kind of like a reverse Subnautica, but instead of being underwater, you're in the sky. If you're looking for a fun and a fresh take on the genre, give it a wish list. I think it deserves it, because you'll be able to give it a try, hopefully, in Q2 of 2023. Just don't forget to bring some coffee for those long nights in the sky. One Lonely Outpost is a sci-fi colonization life sim that lets you terraform a barren world into a lush paradise. You start as the first pioneer on the alien planet with nothing but your space RV, your tech gauntlet, and some seeds. As you farm, mine, explore, and build, you'll also unlock the mysteries of this strange new world and attract more colonists to join you. But be careful, your choices will shape the future of the colony. Will you go for the synthetic route and embrace science, hybrid plants, and robo-cows? Or will you choose the organic path and preserve nature, ancient relics, and cute critters? Either way, you'll have to deal with the challenges of living in a harsh environment, making friends or enemies with your neighbors, and finding love amongst the stars. One Lonely Outpost is a game for fans of base building games who want to experience a unique setting and a story. It features charming pixel art graphics, dynamic lighting effects, a rich soundtrack, and lots of content to explore. If you're into space farming, One Lonely Outpost might just be what you need. You can check this one out later this year. Ark 2 is the sequel to the popular survival game Ark Survival Evolved. Ark 2 is set in a primal world filled with dinosaurs and humans, where you must team up with legendary heroes like Vin Diesel, yes, really, to fight against dark forces. You can craft your own weapons and tools from different modules, tame and ride dinosaurs, and explore a mysterious and chaotic world where anything can happen. Ark 2 promises to deliver a next-gen survival experience with advanced character traversal, action combat, mod support, and instanced rendering, whatever the heck that means. The game isn't available on Steam yet, but you can add it to your wishlist and get notified when it launches. If you're a fan of dinosaurs, survival, and base building, you really won't want to miss this one. If you're looking for a base building game with a piratey flair, then Pirate Commander may be up your metaphorical street. This is a survival sandbox game where you manage an entire pirate ship and its crew. You'll have to deal with their physical and mental health, food, water, medicine, weapons, and ammunition. You'll also have to use ports to upgrade your ship and equip yourself with better gear. Pirate Commander isn't just about sailing and looting. You'll have to prepare for battles with enemies from different factions and terrifying sea monsters. You'll have to load cannons, set up masts, fight fires, and aim your cannons manually. The game has a sectional view where you can influence every room and element of your ship and view every crew member. You can recruit crewmen from natives, defeated enemies, and dock sailors. You can explore an open world full of marine mysteries and exotic islands. Pirate Commander is a game that will test your skills as a captain and a strategist. It's coming soon to Steam, so keep an eye on if you're into pirates and into base building. No word on a release date yet, but get subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it when it comes out. Rooted is a base building game that lets you explore an ancient, overgrown world full of dangers. It's a post-apocalyptic survival game set in the year 2100, after a global bacteriological warfare situation wiped out most of civilization. Seems there's been quite a few of these style of games recently. You're one of the few survivors who must adapt and progress through the ruins of the past, salvaging, crafting, hunting, and building your camp. You can play solo or with your friends in co-op mode and communicate with them using the in-game voice over IP system. You can also build outposts in villages or in a city where you will face other human groups and spores that can harm you. You'll need to equip yourself with protective gears and weapons to survive in these hostile environments. You can also encounter various animals and enemies that can be helpful or dangerous. Rooted is coming soon on Steam, and there's a bunch of alpha tests coming out this year, so if you're lucky, we might see something later on in 2023. Voidtrain is a game where you become a crew member of an interdimensional express train that travels through a mysterious and ever-changing world. You could play solo or with up to 4 friends online and customize your train with different wagons, weapons, and decorations. Along the way, you'll encounter various enemies, puzzles, and creatures, and discover the secrets of the Void. If you're a fiend for unique base builders, then Voidtrain might be the game for you, because you don't only build your train from scratch, but you also upgrade it with new materials and technologies as you go. You have to manage your resources, craft items, and fight for survival. Now, the game offers a lot of freedom and creativity about how you do this, as well as a dynamic and immersive environment. There's a demo that is available right now, so you can get to grips with some of the mechanics that you can expect for the full game, which is hopefully coming out later this year. Be careful that you don't jump off the train accidentally and get eaten by a shark in the meantime. If you ever dreamed of living on Mars, then Occupy Mars the Game might be the game for you. This is a realistic and technical sandbox game that lets you build and manage your own base on the Red Planet. You'll have to deal with various challenges such as finding water, oxygen, power sources, growing crops, mining resources, fixing broken parts, and upgrading your vehicles and equipment. You'll also be able to explore different regions of Mars and discover amazing landmarks and secrets. Occupy Mars, the game, is not a casual game in any sense. It requires planning, strategy, and attention to detail. You'll have to learn how to use your electronic tools and components, how to solder and repair circuits, how to operate cranes and robotic arms, and how to survive in a truly hostile environment. The game is based on real science and engineering principles, so hopefully you'll feel like a true Martian colonist. This is a game for fans of base building games who want a more realistic and immersive experience, and it's also a game for space enthusiasts who want to learn a little bit more about the planet and its potential for colonization. This one is dropping on the 10th of May, which means that we will not have long to wait. Experience the ultimate blend of creation and survival in this isometric Wild West-inspired base building RPG. In Above Snakes, you build your own world piece by piece whilst navigating various biomes and battling against the elements, or even worse, dangerous lost souls. Gather resources, construct bases, and craft weapons and tools to hunt, fish, farm, and fight. Whether you prefer peaceful farming or thrilling combat, Above Snakes offers endless possibilities for players to explore and conquer. I played this on the channel, linked in the top right, up in the top right-hand corner of the video. It feels great to play. It's a super fresh take on the base building genre. You really get to shape your own world. I cannot wait for this one to come out. It's coming out on the 25th of May, 2023, so get your world building hats ready because it's coming soon. Apo Builder is a strategy game where you can build your own city in a post-apocalyptic future. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Well, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, because you also have to scavenge and fight for resources, as everything counts. You'll have to restore civilization on the ashes of the fallen world, explore wastelands to gather resources, protect and take care of your people, and fight off raiders, wild tribesmen, and natural disasters. So, no pressure. The game features post-apocalyptic city management and, notably, controlled vehicles. You can use parts of old technology to build machines like cars, weapons, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And if that's not enough, you can also fortify your settlement and take command of your soldiers and set up your defenses. It's a game where you can create your own post-apocalyptic adventure and see if you have what it takes to survive in a harsh world. The game is planned to release in Q2 of 2023, so stay tuned for more updates. Sticking with the post-apocalyptic theming, if you're looking for a base building game that will yet again challenge your survival skills and make you thirsty for more, you might want to check out Homeseek. It's a game that is set in a post-apocalyptic world, however, this time, water is scarce and precious and every decision matters. You'll have to lead a group of settlers to find a new home in a hostile environment where resources are limited and dangers lurk everywhere. You have to plan your settlement carefully, balancing the needs of your people with the availability of water and other resources. Research new technologies, explore the wasteland, and face ethical dilemmas along the way. Homeseek is a game that will test your strategic thinking and your moral compass whilst offering a rich and immersive story along the way. If you're up for the challenge, you can wishlist Homeseek right now and join the playtest to get a taste of what's coming. Just don't forget to drink some water before you start playing it after it releases in Q3 of 2023. Synergy is a survival city builder that challenges you to create a new civilization on a hostile planet. You'll have to manage resources, expand your city, and keep your citizens happy and hopeful. But be careful, the planet isn't friendly. You'll face natural disasters, extreme weather conditions, and most importantly, mysterious secrets. Synergy lets you explore a world that changes according to your actions. You can send expeditions to discover ancient tablets that reveal the history of the planet and raise your hope level. You can also design your city in a way that respects the environment and the well-being of your people. No cars, no pollution, no stress, just pure synergy. Synergy is definitely one of the more visually striking games on this list, so I'm really excited to see how it turns out. So if you like base building games with a more natural flow, Synergy may very well be the game for you. It's available to wishlist now, and it's expected to release some point this year in 2023. If you're looking for a base building game that lets you create a golden empire in the Yucatan Peninsula, you might want to check out Dorado, the Golden City Builder. This game is a strategy city building game where you have to plan, build, and develop your settlement to earn the title of the Golden City. You'll have to manage your resources, build temples and shrines, offer sacrifices to the gods, and deal with other rival families. You'll also have to watch out for the god's wrath, which can bring calamities or blessings depending on your actions. This game looks great. It's a unique setting, and I'm really interested to give it a crack. Hopefully, 2023 will beckon forth this game, as that's currently the scheduled release timeframe. Diluvian Winds is a game that lets you build and manage hamlet around a lighthouse in a world threatened by rising waters. You play as the Guardian, who refuses to abandon the lighthouse and welcomes different species of travelers who need shelter. You can grow your hamlet on land, under the sea, or amongst the clouds, depending on your choices, and of course, the weather. The game has turn-based roguelike gameplay with a city builder twist. You can unlock new rooms, events, and stories as you progress through the game's chapters. Diluvian Winds is a game that combines strategy, survival, and humor in a super cutesy, unique setting. I enjoyed my brief time with the prologue of this game, linked up in the top right-hand corner right now, and the full game is releasing in May of 2023, so we won't have long to wait to give this game a bash. If you love trains, tycoon games, and base building games, you might like Railway Empire 2, a base building game where you create your own railway company in the 1800s. You'll start with a small steam engine and a few tracks and grow your empire across the US and Europe, connecting cities and industries with bridges, tunnels, and stations. You'll have to compete with rival companies, manage your finances, and research new technologies to unlock 60 historic locomotives and customize them with your colors and initials, of course. You can also enjoy the view from inside the wagons or the driver's seat as you ride along with your trains. Railway Empire 2 promises to be a fun and immersive game that lets you experience history and the challenges of the Industrial Revolution and the railways that came with it. We won't have long to wait for this one, as it's coming to Steam on the 25th of May, 2023. Myriads Renaissance is a super unique turn-based strategy game with city building and 4X mechanics set in a fantasy world made up of loads of floating islands. It's absolutely mad, but it's so much fun. You have to grow your capital and expand your kingdom whilst resisting waves of powerful corsairs and constructing defense towers to survive their incursions. You can also explore a procedurally generated archipelago, establish and manage new colonies, send out your galleons to conquer new territories, and unlock new technologies by gathering ancient secrets. Myriads Renaissance is a challenging game that'll really put your strategic skills to the test. I don't personally rate the name of the game, but the gameplay, as I say, is really, really solid. So I would thoroughly recommend wishlisting it at the moment, and perhaps looking into getting it when it releases on the 1st of June 2023, because it really is that good. Laysara, Summit Kingdom, is a challenging city builder which tasks you with creating a new home for your people forced out of the lowlands. During a campaign or a sandbox playthrough, you'll establish multiple towns, each on a unique mountain with its own traits. All your towns coexist in symbiosis, creating a trading network, which you can then adjust to your needs by revisiting already developed settlements. The Kingdom of Laysara has to be rebuilt. This is one of the games that I'm most excited for this year. It looks unbelievably unique, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. Speaking of a release date, we still don't have anything, which is very unfortunate because I really want to play it. If you're looking for a base building game that takes you to an alien world full of secrets and challenges, you might want to check out Techtonica. Techtonica is a first-person factory automation base builder game that lets you work solo or with friends to create and optimize your own industrial empire. You'll need to dig deep into the surface of Calyx, a mysterious planet with bioluminescent life and hidden treasures. You'll also need to research new technologies, craft powerful machines, and automate your production processes to keep up with the demands of exploration and growth. Techtonica is a game that combines factory building with adventure and discovery, and it's going into early access very soon indeed. Well, over summer 2023. Is that soon? Probably not soon enough, but I'm very excited for the game nonetheless. Viking City Builder lets you experience the life of a Norse leader who sets out to conquer Europe with your loyal warriors. You'll have to pillage villages, build settlements, manage resources, and fight against the European lords who want to reclaim their lands. Viking City Builder has elements of real-time strategy that will challenge your tactical skills and decision-making. You'll have to choose which structures to build, such as homes, longhouses, boating houses, ritual houses, and much more. You'll also have to assign tasks and professions to your people and make sure that they have enough food and fuel to survive the harsh winters. But building isn't enough. You'll have to defend your territory from enemies who will try to stop your expansion. You can send your warriors to raid and plunder nearby lands for valuable resources or engage in large-scale battles with European armies. The game features realistic graphics powered by Unreal Engine and ray tracing, making those northern fjords look stunning. Viking City Builder is a game for fans of strategy, history, and of course, Vikings, and it's a game that will make you feel like a true Norse conqueror. There's no word on a release date yet, but if you're interested in this game, or any on this list, again, I would encourage you to wishlist the title. This is a funky base builder. This is Derelicts. It's a game set in a post-apocalyptic Earth where an ancient mechanism flooded the planet with radiation, forcing most of humanity to flee to space stations. You and your friends are part of a team that has crash-landed on Earth and have to investigate the source of the incident, whilst also surviving the harsh environment. Derelicts is a game that combines exploration, crafting, and building in a hostile and mysterious wasteland. You'll have to use the power of the wind, sun, and water to generate electricity and power up your base. You'll also have to deal with weather effects that can affect your production, such as frozen rivers, thunderstorms, and blizzards. You'll encounter various enemies, from mutated animals to hostile humans, and you'll have to defend your base with weapons and traps. You can also find a dog companion to help you fight and keep you company on your journey. Derelicts is a game that promises a lot of fun and challenge for fans of survival and base building games. It's got a unique setting, a dynamic world, and lots of promise. No word on a release date yet, but I'm going to be checking out this one when it releases. Will you be? Mob Factory is a base builder tower defense game where you automate a dungeon, build an interconnected factory to turn mobs into resources, buy new islands, craft new spawners, and a whole bunch more. As you acquire new materials from new enemies, upgrade your assembly lines with new technology to make it increasingly efficient. Defend against waves of enemies that will become the fuel for your factories. Shape the path they take to maximize your damage output. This game is absolutely excellent. There's a demo on Steam right now, which is a great time. It's a really great play. I'd really encourage you to check it out if indeed you're interested in sort of automation base building games. It's great fun. The game's currently slated for release in Q3 of 2023, so hopefully we don't have too long to wait for this one. Starship Troopers Extermination is a co-op FPS base builder inspired by the classic sci-fi movie. In this game, you and your squad of elite deep space vanguard troopers have to fight your way through hordes of bugs on hostile planets whilst completing objectives, gathering resources, and setting up your base of operations. You can choose from 3 classes: Assault, Support, and Defense, and unlock new perks and gear as you progress. You'll also have to deal with flying enemies, boss battles, and orbital strikes in this epic war against the arachnid threat. There's not much else to say on this one, so we're going to have to wait for a few more details to emerge. However, this one hopefully will be releasing at some point in 2023, so stay tuned. Tempest Rising is a base-building RTS game that lets you command one of 3 factions in a post-nuclear war scenario, each with its own approach to combat and economy, offering a variety of strategies for players of all stripes. The game is inspired by classic RTS games of the 90s and the 2000s, but with modern graphics and performance, and it combines fast and fluid combat with deep and rewarding gameplay. If you're looking for a new RTS to add to your collection, keep your eyes peeled for the release date announcement of Tempest Rising. And last but not least on our list, we have got Fata Deum. It's a god game inspired by classics like Black and White and Populous, where you can shape a living world and compete with other gods for influence. You can bless or curse your followers, build temples or summon demons, and create a kingdom of light or darkness. Fata Deum lets you play as a young god rising to glory and features a dynamic day-night cycle, a complex AI system, and a rich simulation of settlements and townsfolk. Fata Deum is a game for fans of base building, strategy, and simulation games, and it's also got a touch of humor and a little bit of whimsy thrown in there. If you're looking for a good god game that lets you mold the world in your image, Fata Deum might be the answer to your prayers. It's coming out this year at some point, and there's a sporadic demo that keeps on making an appearance every so often on Steam. It'll probably appear in the future at some point, so check that out if indeed you're interested in this title. So that's it for the list of upcoming base builders that are going to be releasing in 2022-2023. Before I get to the base builders that you can play right now, just a quick little plug for my Twitter if you're interested in staying up to date with sort of tweets of announcements of games. I do tend to sort of share announcements of upcoming base builders on Twitter, so go follow me there if indeed you're interested in staying up to date. And now, let's get to the base builders that you can play right now. So for this list, I've tried to stick to games that are, I guess, somewhat new and perhaps may have gone past your radar. And there's a couple that I'd like to sort of talk about specifically. But again, if indeed you're interested in learning the best base builders that I played in 2022, then you can check out the link in the description down below to the playlist, which contains all of my best strategy games of 2022, which you can watch at your leisure. Right. Okay, first game on the list is World Turtles. World Turtles, you build a civilization on the back of a big old giant turtle that is floating through space. It's kind of wacky, it's in early access, it's cool, it's very indie. I'd encourage you to check it out if indeed, turtle building civilization games are up your street. Another interesting little indie game that I would recommend checking out is Full Metal Sergeant. Full Metal Sergeant is a training camp manager where you play as the drill sergeant and you need to develop a training camp for a whole bunch of new recruits, and you need to train them up to go on a mission. It's very quick, it's very simple, it's great fun. You'll have a great time with it. It's a really, really good little game. It looks pretty cutesy, pretty unique. I like it a lot. Flooded is a game all about trying to mitigate rising tides. You need to build your base in progressively smaller situations as your land gets flooded. This is a pretty unique one. I really like it. It's kind of tile-based. It makes for a very unique sort of style of game, and one of the sort of quirkier titles that I've seen released this year. I think it would very much interest anybody who's interested in building a good old base. The next game on the list is Project Astra Dominium. This is a tower defense game crossed with a factory builder game, crossed with a base builder game, crossed with just about any other genre under the sun. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes it interesting. It's quirky. It's cool. I think you should give this one a look if indeed you're interested in base builders. I played it on the channel. In fact, I played all of these games on the channel that I'm recommending right now, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think it got enough attention, and I'd encourage you to check it out if you're interested in base builders. Penultimately, I have Rogue Station. Rogue Station is a space station builder where you basically play FTL, but it's kind of like in a stationary space station. It's a really unique concept for a game. It feels really fresh. I really like it, and it just plays well. It's pretty darn unique. It's like FTL. It captures that same sort of magic in my opinion, and I can't recommend this one enough. It's great. Rogue Station, check that one out. And finally, we've got One Military Camp, which is another sort of base builder, except this time you're building a military camp, and you need to make sure that you're training people up, kind of like Full Metal Sergeant, actually, training people up for a mission. two great military base building games, I guess. But yeah, one military camp, also very cool. There's sort of a bigger long-term campaign there in that one as well, where you have to send troops out on missions. Hey, some great games have released in the early half of 2023 in the base builder genre, and I'm delighted to be able to showcase them. And I feel like the ones that I've managed to pick out here are just a smattering of some of the great stuff that we've seen release in this half of the year. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Please do indeed share the video if you've thought that it's been at least somewhat useful. Tweet me on Twitter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would be very curious if there's any other sort of base builder games that I have missed, anything that I should have had on this list that I didn't have on this list. There's a whole bunch of great strategy games coming out in the latter half of 2023, and I can't wait to showcase them here on the channel. So if by some weird confluence of events you haven't decided to subscribe up until now, then please do indeed consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date with all the strategy goodness that goes on here on the Orbital Potato YouTube channel. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching. Check out the Patreon if you're interested in helping make videos like this possible and get early access to videos like this. But for now, and from me, I'll see you next time. Bye.